Yo, YouTube, what's going on? Today we're doing some React Andy to Mizkif's new YouTube video. We have a special announcement. What it is, who knows? We need L to figure it out. Let me guess, another anime tier list. Last time he did one of these, I think a couple months ago with Lakari, and I think Tectone eventually got involved. Was it them? Might be thinking of the wrong person. Anyways, I did a little bit of React Andy to that. So now we're back at it. Got my Death Note. About to take some notes. Alright, let's get this started.
Okay. Hello everyone and welcome to our first ever YouTube video that we are going to do a video where we're going to talk about
YouTube video.
I'm in the middle of something. We're going to be going over Death Note, the greatest show ever made. Possibly the best thing that ever happened to the website. What
website?
Possibly the best thing that ever happened to the internet. It's a cultural phenomenon that has changed the world and has made people use things such as pens and notebooks and apples.
That's true. Real Death Note facts.
Today we dressed up as
Like
Elle
apples.
and SpongeBob, and today we're going to be going over our favorite characters in the anime. By the way, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and also like the video. If we get 10,000 likes in this video, I'll never do this again. Alright, before anyone talks, let's just go over our anime backgrounds. I've watched Death Note 3 times, Naruto on Adult Swim a couple times, and
Alright.
Hunter x Hunter.
I'm a cosplayer. I've watched over 50 anime.
Very
I
qualified.
used to have an anime podcast. Is this an anime podcast? I have a new anime podcast.
Oh yeah. We want the
Nothing
new one.
awful.
Not the.
I watched it first time in middle school, like most people.
Alright, my turn. My background with anime, I guess pretty standard. I started getting into it when I was in middle school, more or less. Middle school years. I got a couple of, can't even see them. Posters, things of anime. I think we got a Death Note poster up there, some Bakuman, some Pokemon, some Digimon. Yeah, we do got Digimon. We got Dak Prescott Mon. Where you at? There we go. But Death Note's definitely one of my favorite ones. It's up there. I'm a big fan of the duo that created it. For those that don't know, there's a guy that illustrates the series of Death Note, and there's one guy that writes the story pretty much. I think that duo, forget their name. They done a couple big things over the years. But let's go back to this video.
Why are you talking so much in my show? So, we're going to go over each character. If you think that my tier list is wrong or her opinions are wrong, be sure to comment below which one of us you hate more.
You should be careful. With your anime opinions, I've gotten a lot of death threats on TikTok from my One Piece takes.
Oh, that's fine if they give me death threats. I don't really care. Yeah, I just got to learn how to write.
That one sucks. Dude, this one's from my closet. I've had this for 4 years.
Why is there actual
One is the fake one.
name you wrote in
No,
this?
it doesn't
Emi'w had that.
lie.
Lind L. Taylor. Let's start with the hottest character ever made, Light Yagami.
Hell's better.
I totally disagree. I think L is the best character in any anime and possibly even better than SpongeBob himself.
You really should have said L instead of Light.
Got me. I think Light Yagami is the best character to happen in any anime ever. He is perfection.
And why? Why? You have to defend your take.
Because
Because he's a lying narcissist and you can relate?
L has been practicing for this for his entire career. Every single day, from the day he was born, he was raised in an orphanage to do what? To be the best detective in the world. Light Yagami was literally a random student in high school who saw a book drop from the sky.
Not true. Not true. No, Light was literally raised for success to become the successor to his own father. He was created and raised by his family for success, so they were both raised in that way.
And where was that said in the show?
I don't know, but it was said.
No, it was
the
not.
beginning?
I remember
Yes, it was.
everything.
Well,
Yes, it was. He was.
I don't think he was prior to the Death Note, like appearing in the world, whatever. I think he was already like solving a couple of cases for his dad's police department, and I think he was he number one in his region for school? I know for school district. I don't know, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Emi'w.
Was literally an honor student, the smartest in Japan.
Yep.
But that was not on his parents making him do that. That was just in general. He was just smart.
Yeah, that was just him.
He was smart, but so
Let's
is
say it's
Alice.
both.
That's a stupid argument. They were both naturally smart, but that was also their environment.
Oh my god. Just the character development he had in the show was perfection.
What character development?
Just starting from just a normal, brilliant student walking with his book to the last scene where you see him running on the same fence. Light Yagami is perfection. He was born perfection, and my god, is he good looking. I would say Light Yagami is the best character ever to the history of the internet.
Sim.
Yo, Twitch, don't ban us. If I were to place Light Yagami on this tier list, I'd probably put him between S and A. Obviously, he's one of the main characters. He brings a lot to the table, and regarding what Mizkif said about his character development, I mean, yeah, I mean, as regards like at the very first episode, we didn't think he was. Some people say he's not evil, but he did some evil shit, obviously. But regarding like switching from like I guess good to a bad guy, it happened pretty much quickly within the first 2 episodes, and after that, he just I mean, he has character development beyond the just like he was innocent and then the death note dropped and became evil, started killing people, criminals and all that.
Are you mad?
Yeah, he's S tier.
I agree.
Okay, put him where you think he should be.
S.A.
Light is a great and well-written character, and he's cool.
And he's not at the top. What he did to Ray Penburn was possibly some of the greatest storytelling I've ever seen in my entire life.
The FBI saga. Oh my god, it's oh man, this is so good, man. But not the whole Ray Penburn saga, but her fiance, Ray's fiance, what was her name? Naomi something. It's been a minute since I watched it. It was Naomi something, but when she was trying to go to L to tell L that hey, I think I figured out that Kira killed Ray fiance, and they just happened to meet in the street, and he sees her and he's like, oh this is Ray Penburn's fiance, and the whole little scene happens there, and I thought it was pretty brilliant. Well, and pretty sad too. Pretty fucking sad when he finally figured out her real name. And man, they just have her walk off. They show the staircase, and I think it was like a tie noose type deal on top there. Oh man, that thing broke my heart, man. All right, let's get back.
Life. Or was it? The thing is, sometimes with Light that confused me is sometimes he did such crazy stuff for no reason. Why did he make him the guy shooting the gun at Ryuk? Why did he make him do that?
He was testing the capabilities of the Death Note so that he could use it later to murder all the 12 FBI agents.
I didn't even know he was just testing it. Oh my god, he's so smart. He's so cool. Misa.
I thought you watched it freaking 3 times, man. You watched
Excuse
3
me.
minutes of
I
each
like her. I
episode.
think
That's
she's
what it
cool,
sounds
but
like.
she kind of bothered me sometimes in the show.
I just found her character so blech.
I felt kind of sorry for her sometimes because she's like kind of stupid and like being taken advantage of. But also there were so many times that she like got in Light's way or like was kind of annoying. I mean, I think that she's cute and there were moments that I liked with her, but she kind of...
My favorite part with her was the last scene where she was on top of the building. She was too simpy. And I feel like it was like, all right, relax. Like she...
I thought it was a little unrealistic.
Yes, I would say the word is Misa is a little unrealistic. I would agree. What?
All the characters are unrealistic. honest.
Not sure Light Yagami is out there somewhere. I put Misa at C. I think her character development was not really there, and I wish that
let's
she
see,
was
what does
brought
Amy
up
give
more
her?
in the show
Give her.
in a more compelling way other than being in Light's way.
I thought she was a B. I feel like they could have done her so much better, because remember, at the beginning, she was smart. Like, she'd put on that disguise and, like, hid in that one place to find Light, and then she, like, tracked him down and wrote, like, the secret code that only he would know.
Yes.
And then she, for some reason, was just, like, couldn't do anything for the rest of the show.
Rest of the show, she was stupid. Why? She just
Yeah.
fell off in the show. I'm gonna put her, low B.
God, wait.
Naomi Misa.
Hold on, we're gonna pause that. All right, so regarding that woman, Misa Amane, where would I put her on this list? Damn, like, man, they made that little last point they made where, like, she started off so good, where she tracked down who Kira was, and then after that, once she got captured because they found traces of her hair or her hair's friend, and they tracked down the address where they sent the letters. Like what happened? Like, did we just drop the ball there? But hey, that really doesn't bother me as much because, well, we probably should, but the fact that she was pretty simpy for him, and unrealistic characters. I mean, yeah, unrealistic, but men, women, all types of people, they'll do anything for their loved ones. Talking about, like, in a relationship, like, people will stick around. I'm just saying, man, like, I think, yeah, B plus, because I think it would have been interesting to see how she developed as a character more after she had tracked down Kira. Like, I just want to mention something with the live action Netflix adaptation. How they did Misa's character in there was different. They, I think Misa wanted to take control of the Death Note, and so she's the one who actually killed the FBI in the live action Netflix adaptation, and I thought that was pretty interesting the way they did it. But whatever. But yeah, they said
Just fell off in the show. I'm gonna put her, low B. Just seeing that last part when she was gonna go and die.
Dude, that
Naomi.
part where,
Dude, that's what I'm
you
talking
see, like, her
about.
eyes and she realizes he's Kira, and then it goes back and her eyes are dead. Literally made my stomach churn in the first.
Oh my god, that's what I'm talking about, man. Like, and then what's even more messed up was I think one of the detectives that was working with Elle had walked by them, but they weren't paying attention to each other.
First time I saw it.
Yes, I loved her as a character because it just showed the potential of Light Yagami and how amazing he is.
By
That's
killing.
amazing.
Yes, she was able
Innocent.
to portray Light and show how powerful Light really is and how manipulative of a man he is. How he's able to just find a woman and somehow in just a 60-yard walk was able to get her full name and kill her.
She's supposed to be one of the smarter characters in the entire show, but she just was like, oh yeah, it makes sense he needs to see my ID. What? Why would the high school son of the detective need to see your ID? That makes no sense. She fumbled.
She fumbled. Usually Light's pretty calculated, right?
Yeah.
Everything he does is calculated. He thinks about it for a while, but this was on the spot and he did it, which shows Light's capabilities. And this as a character, and especially when the I part, I would put her at high A.
Yeah,
I put her high. Yeah, that sounds about right. And I don't know if either of them had read the special little edition book they did. What's it called? The Los Angeles BB murder cases. Naomi was in that shit.
Ooh. This next one's my favorite.
How Light was your favorite?
Light's my favorite because he shows me my other favorites.
She's beautiful too, man. Look at the Naomi, man. Them eyes. Man, why did they gotta kill her?
This one is kind of strange.
Doctor Strange?
Denver.
Oh.
Ray Penber as a character, to me, just portrays an average man. He's just an average dude with average intelligence.
I agree. His wife was smarter than him. But he wasn't a bad guy. But yeah, he also fumbled. He didn't listen to his wife. She literally solved the entire case like episode 6 or whatever it was. And then he fucking died after killing all of his coworkers. He's a C.
Yeah, he's fucking mid as shit. I mean, he's dumb as fuck. He also killed all of his coworkers like a stupid bitch. Ray Penber, I hate you. If you're listening to this, I hate you. I always have. Actually, you know what? I love him. You wanna know why?
Why?
He made the entire show. Because without Ray Penber, Elle wouldn't have been able to catch on to Light Yagami, and the show would not be what it is today.
True.
So Ray Penber, you killed Elle. I hope you hear this. I'm gonna put you in C, because you're just mid as fuck. What do you think?
Hello, C.
He was C. He was not I guess in the grand scheme of things of the whole show, a minor character. That was just for the FBI little saga part. Yeah, everything they said, average character with average intelligence, wife was smarter.
Yeah, you're just nothing special. Light's father.
Just like my streaming career.
Sorichi Oyagami.
I love him.
I do like him a lot.
I feel like he's one of
This dude's A or S, or put on the back of S.
the only non-piece of shit characters in the show who also isn't stupid.
Yeah, he's definitely has a higher intelligence. I did like how much he did care about his son and how much he cared about his family.
I think if Light wasn't his son, he would have been way more useful, but he just didn't want like Light to be Kira.
Since he got Shinigami eyes and they don't go to heaven or hell, where does he go?
Well, at the end of Death Note, they say that all humans go to nothingness when they die. There is no heaven or hell in the Death Note universe.
So wait, they were just never gonna go to heaven or hell anyway?
No, it's because Ryuk said to Light, someone who uses the Death Note can't go to heaven or hell, which people theorize is him hinting that Light will become a Shinigami because he's a prolific Death Note user. But
And then once he dies, he goes into the Shinigami world, and then he gets into another arc with Ryuk. They want to overthrow I would say Shaman King, Shinigami King.
I don't know.
But here's my problem with him. When Mel blew up that building and he was inside of it and he was shot a lot, how did he not die in a blown up building after being shot multiple times?
Well, he did die.
Yeah, but at the hospital. But a building just collapsed on you and you're okay?
Well, it
Yep.
didn't land on him. Mello didn't die either.
Yeah, but Mello it made sense for him to escape. This guy was shot on the ground dead. Regardless, as a character, I would say he's high A.
Yeah, I agree.
Damn,
He's
dude, I
better
nailed
than
it too.
Naomi.
Well,
But he's awesome.
he's good, but you have to remember something that he did. He sacrificed his family for this job.
Didn't spend a lot of time with his wife or daughter, but he was always trying to protect Light. I don't think he if he sacrificed his family, he would have been completely okay with Light being accused of being Kira.
I did love how much he talked shit about Matsuda.
Matsuda kind of.
I'll put him in high A.
Dude, that was a good character right there, their dad. Oh man, I remember the first few episodes. Was it episode 2 or 3 when he comes home, and at this point, no one, us viewers, don't know that that's Light's dad. So when they go and greet him at the door, they're like, "Oh, we didn't know who his dad was." And he walks in, and we see his face, and we're like, "What the? That's his dad? Like what? Like, oh man." But yeah, that's a good character. That's a good looking man too.
Ryuk.
S.
He's so good.
S tier. He's literally perfect.
First of all, I'm going to say one thing about Ryuk that was so good. His voice in the dub was amazing, but not only was his voice, the way he looked was perfection. I couldn't ask for a better Shinigami than the way he looked. But what was the one that looked like a bird poop that came in? And he was like, give me my notebook back.
I want my
Oh,
notebook.
It didn't hit for me.
I don't think this is not his name, but the word
the hell is his name?
Guido just keeps popping. up.
Guido?
That's not his name.
Racist. One thing I loved about him was the dynamic between him and Light, which is they were just both bored and they both just wanted to see a different world changed, right? He wanted to see the Shinigami.
Do you want to see the world burn? Well, he did. That's what Reek wanted to see. But L was trying to change it for the better. But things happen. I mean, I like Ryuk. I'm not gonna go too far in depth, but I guess why not put him in S and A? He's also pretty funny too. English done better.
realm change, but it's boring to him, so he went to the real world. When Light was in the real world and wanted to see the world change because he was bored. I love that. That like element that they both had together. Ryuk is definitely high S. Like I think he's right here.
Ryuk is great. Do you want one?
No, you still have a case to fill. Once you're done with the case, I'll have one of those.
Case of...
S plus.
Now, Emmy has been watching a 10-hour documentary on Death Note. Emmy, would you like to explain why he
I think I had
deserves
that up.
S+?
I heard
He
about it.
deserves S plus because the reason that the first part of Death Note was so good is because of L.
Yes,
And the reason
100%
the second part
agree.
of Death Note was not as good is because
No
L
L.
was gone. Now L is a very unique character. He's a little weird, but he's smart, and he's just a funny guy, and he's cool.
You watched a 10-hour documentary on Death Note, and you're going to tell me his
He's
reasoning
cool.
is because he's cool.
He's cool.
I love that he was quirky and dumb.
You see
and
her?
as a character, he was seen as much more lighthearted and joking, when L was much more serious.
Prior to the events of Death Note, this is how L and Naomi Misra knew each other. So basically, L was so smart. Watari basically found him and was like, "You fucking orphan child, you thing." And then L was
Fucking
so
orphan.
smart, he basically made Watari the richest man in the entire world, like multi-billionaire, like richer than Jeff Bezos, right? And Watari was like, "Hey, wait a second, this kid's pretty good. I gotta get more of these because this one's so good that someone's probably gonna kill him someday." So he made this orphanage called Whammy's House where he got all these other orphans and tried to raise them to be clones of L. Now, they were in this environment where they were constantly
Mizkif. Your HDMI is acting up.
compared to each other, compared to L, and developed these inferiority complexes. And so there was A and B, right? And so B became this serial killer called Beyond Birthday, and he became this horrible serial killer.
shit.
So long story short, all the orphans committed suicide, and even by the time that Mello and Nier were there were still people killing themselves because it was so bad. But Naomi solved the Beyond Birthday case, which is how Elle knew her in the first place, and for some reason Elle just doesn't care about this. And Watari's actually not a good person.
He's cool.
Based. Feel like I gotta do something in my life now. Something else. No, if I were to put L on this, obviously put it on the very top, tippity top, right next to Akira. The one thing I hear about this series is that from all the fans, or the ones that like it, they're like, "Oh, the show fell off for me after L died." Oh, spoilers! So you haven't watched it yet, man. Come on, year's 2023. Yeah, yep, I'm right. I was about to say 2024. It's just a good character, but dang, I don't remember about that about Watari. Well, I know about the Beyond Birthday, but I forget. I guess the kids killing themselves. God damn.
I think he's really cool. But my thing I loved about him the most, the one scene where he's on the roof and he brings Light outside there and basically tells him in the most nasty, coolest way possible, "I know you have always been Kira. I know you're gonna kill me, and that this is it."
I just
and you
can't
know when
prove
he's
it.
cleaning his legs? You know that's a reference to the Bible.
Biblical reference. No, it's funny actually because you know that scene where they're in the rain and Elle's like, "Light, have you ever once told the truth since the day you were born?" And the sound stops. There must be you.
That was such a beautiful What?
What the hell? I like that reference, dude. What the fuck? Well, I like that little...
Is there something better than that one moment where they just were outside in the rain where no one can hear them, and he basically says, "I've known the whole time you're Kira."
Oh, man.
Well, Code Geass is rated better on my anime list, but he won't give it a chance, so...
We're gonna be doing another Death Note tier list, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's one I haven't watched. And one of my buddies that back then we watched this together, Death Note, they told me Code Geass is pretty good. One day.
Is he as good as Light? He dies. Like, is he as good as Light Yagami?
I don't think it's fair because Light had supernatural tools, and Elle was just a guy with a lot of money.
The question is, Emmy, who really was evil? Was it Light Yagami? Was he really evil? Or was it L?
See, Light is a flawed person, and Elle is literally perfect.
But flawed humans are what humans are.
They're not gods.
But Light
That's why
was.
he lost.
Or did he?
I'm Light Yagami and I approve this message. He's better.
I feel like we pretty much just know the better characters of the anime. So,
Than me. I think L's the best character I've ever seen in my entire life.
I feel like when people think of Death Note, they think of L or Ryuk and not Light, or even Misa.
Yeah.
Do I have chocolate
And you know what? If I'm being honest, yeah.
on my face?
Matsuda.
Matsuda, B.
Yeah, I would say Matsuda's probably a B.
I liked him because he's just such a happy guy and like he wants to trust everyone. He just shouldn't have been an investigator.
He shouldn't have been he's much better getting coffees.
Yeah.
We'll put him at B. Which leads us to this question, Emmy. This picture right here depicts all of season 1.
The Light versus L arc.
This is the Light versus L arc. What would you rank, in your opinion? I've watched a lot of animes in my lifetime. I've watched Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, Courage the Cowardly Dog, SpongeBob, Pokemon Season 1 9 times. I've seen it all. This arc of Light, I'm gonna cry. This is just such a creative masterpiece that you just cannot recreate. Every show, and this is why some animes bore me to death, because the fighting, it's like, oh, who is the coolest fighting style?
Death Note is all plot.
And that's beautiful. And it's just,
We're gonna talk about this real quick. Okay, so when this released and was in Shonen Jump, or whatever it's called back then, 2005, 4. This series was so unique because you weren't getting many mysteries or plot-driven series inside a magazine where it's mostly like freaking action shonen. I'm saying genres like Naruto, Bleach, whatever was dropping back then. And the fact that this freaking series stayed on there, was on there, you gotta applaud it. But just regarding about the arc, the first arc, I think the first 10, 11 episodes, up to the part where Misa finds him, who real Kira is, how she was smart, and then after that they kind of just dipped down. Freaking masterpiece. Like, it's just so perfect. Like, man, like, that's probably, it's pretty perfect. Like, oh, Jesus.
one game of cat and mouse. Who wins, L or Light? Up until that point, till L's death, in my opinion, every second of that show is insane.
Yeah.
That was my Shinigami, Sinak.
I kind of wish that there was more Light versus L, but I mean, I also get why. I mean, one of them had to like lose, one of them had to die.
I would say one thing I didn't like, two things. I didn't like Misa. I felt like she was getting kind of annoying, but not too annoying. But one thing I didn't like, honestly, is L's death. Because I did find it kind of just, it felt like it was fast. Like, all of a sudden, he's gonna do the 13-day rule, and now Rem has to kill L. I felt like it was kind of quick.
What the fuck is up with Misa where two Shinigami fall in love with her to the point that they literally kill themselves, two immortal beings? Isn't that crazy?
Think about it, you're a Shinigami. You're staring at a bunch of broken bones and gambling all day. You know, you're basically on kick. And then you see this chick over here. I mean, are you not gonna fall in love with her?
I would have picked someone else.
I mean, yeah, I would have picked Matsuda. I know that's what you were gonna say. What would you say about this season?
S tier. I think it's one of the best season ones of all time.
It's just so beautiful. One thing that I think goes so unnoticed
Hey, most of it,
is
yeah.
the potato chip scene.
Oh,
Yeah, I think, what was that YouTuber, Mother's Basement? He made like video about that. The potato chip and its genius.
So just trust me.
Really?
No.
I love that scene. That's Kira right there. Going insane, the crazy angles that are happening, the pen that's just swerving all around, and that's Kira. That's Kira inside of Light's mind. But outside in the cameras, you just see Light.
I think Rio's like flipping now,
basically
doing
just sitting there,
flips
and
and
it
shit.
just looks like nothing. And L somehow have to depict all that and find out if he's Kira or not. I don't know. I love this. In my opinion, I think it's the best season one I've ever seen in my entire life. And like I said, I've seen Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
Have you seen
Good.
Pokemon?
Would you disagree?
I'd put it up
You
there.
disagree? What?
So I've watched the live action Japanese movies too, and L dies in there obviously. How? Kind of ain't gonna tell you. I'd say watch the movies. They're not that half bad, and they came out way back when. But anyways, they did like a little, not spin-off, but I guess what would be considered a sequel in the movies called. Let me see if I get the movie real quick. Here we go. Found it. Death Note light up the world. So, the plot for this, I'm not gonna tell you the whole plot, but what could happen, what you could pose is some type of like the next, if you want more cat and mouse type deals. What happened was Shinigami King, or I think it was him. Yeah, he tells his disciples like, hey, whoever wants to take over as the next king, we're gonna drop 6-7 Death Notes in the human world. Whichever Death Note user, Shinigami, kills the other 6-7, will be the new king. So like a BR or whatever, I don't know. And it's kind of, you can't get much of that, like a deep dive, like a very expansive story with just doing it in one movie, but at least they present the idea, and they got really good twists in the movie that remind me of Death Note. And I ain't gonna tell you who gets a Death Note in this, but man, it gets good. Let's go back to this.
Why? Good. Third, Kira. What's this guy's name? Hideki Matsui?
Higuchi.
Oh, the business people.
Businessmen killing other businessmen just makes sense. Things he has.
Sense.
I thought that little arc was pretty good for the most part. I liked it.
You don't think top businessmen would kill other businessmen if they had the opportunity?
You're a
B.
businessman.
Right.
B.
It didn't seem
C+.
out of the realm of possibilities, everything he did.
Higuchi is the most realistic Kira, I think.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
for his own personal gain and then making mistakes.
One thing I don't understand, though, is that why did L give Light the notebook? And what I don't understand also is when L saw Light screaming on the top of his lungs for about 10 seconds after he grabbed the notebook, wouldn't you immediately go, this guy's probably Kira?
Well, okay, so L didn't know all the stuff about the notebook. He probably was like, oh, well, it's not a big deal if he holds it. And if he holds it and does something suspicious.
Or maybe he grabbed this way. At that point of that scene, I'm not sure if they had seen the Shinigami next to the guy. Maybe he was
Because
reacting
the whole
to
time,
see.
L thought that Light was Kira. He's like, oh, it could be more stuff I could use because he was like watching him. And then when Light was screaming, he probably just thought he was like acting freaked out at the Shinigami or something.
I would rate him, honestly, probably, I'd rate him at like a B. I thought he was a good
Yeah,
character.
I think he's like a low C. I
How?
don't like him.
What? He's
I
a
don't like him.
businessman.
I don't think there was
For the time we got him, and not rather what he did bring into the story, but the type of character he wants.
anything that interesting about him, and also he's a weirdo. He was weak-minded compared to Light because Light, from the start, I don't know if this was even in the anime,
let's put
but
him
he was
C.
like, oh, I can't get feelings.
Let's put it
for
right in the
so I'll,
middle,
like, get
right
in
next
the
to
way of my
right.
plan or whatever. But Higuchi was a
Actually, no.
fucking simp. He was having a good time at that party with those ladies Misa is friends with, and then he
Number
was
one
like,
C.
my plan of being Kira is to make Misa marry me. You know, he's lost track of his goals. Stay focused, brothers, or something.
Why do you think everyone wants a high-paying job? It's to get laid.
Well, it didn't work out. He got bamboozled because Miso was playing him the whole time.
You know what? You're
Damn.
right. Simp. C for cuck.
You playing above Ray Penver?
How dare you? D for dick. Which leads us to the second arc. Now, before we get into the second arc, let's go over the second arc characters. And let's start with Mello.
He's like a B or C.
I was really disappointed with Mello. I would actually put Mello as F.
I feel like Mello got robbed. Like, I feel like he could have done so much more.
They didn't do anything with him. I felt
What do
like
you
Mello had such-
mean? He's the one that took the Death. Well, it's been a minute since I watched the series, but like, I think he was the one that took the Death Note forcefully and made that whole beginning. He made like Kira come to him. Like, what do you mean? Like, Mello did a lot. It's just, I guess they could have done a little bit more. I don't know, because the way the story was going at that point, I'd put the man B, high B minus A. He was pretty good. He was a pretty good character. He has some good moments and the actions he did.
opportunities,
evil
and
or
it just
good.
all felt like so fast, which is obviously what the season 2 felt like.
Well, Mello is the main reason that Light ultimately got caught.
Which
Thank
was
you,
more-
Emmy.
Mello is way
Jesus.
more interesting than Nier, but Nier was like the focus.
Yeah, I agree. I like this guy was the head of the mafia. I mean, he did cool stuff. Nier was just playing with toys and cubes.
He was like, ugh, I know everything. And it's just like,
Why was your Nier impression so good? And that's pretty good too. I liked him. I thought it was emotional, but he was fun. But I'm disappointed in how much they used him in the show. And as a character, I would say he's F or low D. I mean, they really didn't use him. And honestly, a lot of times he was around, it felt like they were just not needed and forced.
Yeah, they kind of threw him in as like the like perceived like problem / villain.
Yeah,
the second
I guess.
part, but I would put him in C. But I think he's better than these two clowns.
Ray
Nah,
Penber.
I'd put him in B.
I just like Ray Penber because Light
B.
said Ray Penber, and I say that a lot now. I'll put him right here.
Yeah, I agree.
Kiyomi Takara. I thought this character was horrible.
She felt like a very convenient plot device.
Yeah.
Very
and
convenient.
Also, she cucked Misa, and Misa was better.
Misa was better. She cucked the plot. And I hated how forced she felt in the anime. Oh, of course the girl that Light was in love with when he was in high school happens to be the best reporter and happens to be the person now when there's millions of people in the area that could have been.
Actually, it was college, and they weren't in love, but whatever.
She was in love, but whatever.
Technically.
I think she's an industry plant. I think it kind of made me not like
Sure.
Death Note anymore. This woman right here.
She
Yeah.
actually is an industry plant, like straight up. Yeah.
I'm gonna put her at D.
It felt like the author was like, I need another Misa, but I can't use Misa anymore because it'd be way too obvious.
But why don't they just use another woman? Why do they have to say that it's the same woman from episode like 8?
I think because they needed another reason that the woman would be infatuated with Light.
But
and
look at Light. What woman wouldn't be infatuated with
Or
him?
guy.
It really took away from Misa, which I think Misa could have way more airtime. Low D.
Misa literally like vanished at like the latter part of the second season.
Near.
I mean, I liked him, but it felt like there wasn't much to his character. Like he was literally just like an L with
But
less
boring,
personality
and
who just
yeah.
like knew everything.
I liked Nier as a character. I thought Nier was fun because I think what Nier brought to the table was he was so much more like L, and it showed that calculation wins over emotional. Because the problem with Mello and the problem with Light and why they both in the end died is because they were both just such emotional people. Nier was smart the entire time and calculated.
If Nier doesn't stay on the same, was it C tier as Mello?
Obviously, he's nothing compared to Light, but I think he's way better than Mello because I think he had just more airtime. Where would you want to put your brother Nier?
B.
What?
And I would agree. Teru Mikami was the worst character in the show by a long shot. They had to force him in by explaining his story, which I thought was so terrible to the plot. I really hated him, and I think he was just so forced that I would put him at F.
You know what's interesting? Teru Mikami is the author's second favorite human character.
Why?
Well, he's based off the character from the pilot. I just liked how he was like, he had a strong sense of justice, but in a way that was different to Light. Teru Mikami was like, just fucking kill anyone who like is like a slight blemish on society.
Yeah, I like that too, but it just, I hated how they
don't
had
think
to
I ever read the
explain him.
pilot.
The problem with both of these characters is it felt like they were intruding. Like it's like,
Yes.
I want to know what's going on with Light and Misa and even like Mello and Nier because they were L's successors. And I was like, who the fuck are these people? I don't care about.
Yes, she got way too much airtime, and I think he, as a character, was absolutely terrible, even to his own death. I think the way he died was so dumb. Why was he able to just murder himself like that at the last minute? I think he took so much away from the plot. I'm putting him in F.
It's kind of similar to her where he just felt like a convenient plot device. Like, oh wow, this guy who grew up being happy that his enemies died and like he's in love with Kira, but
So
he's
where's my
like so
phone?
methodical and like just a weird, I don't know.
Also, what idiot goes to the bank twice a week?
This was before you
Me.
could scan on your phone. Death Note took place in like 1993 or something.
Wait, you couldn't just scan on your phone?
I wouldn't put him that low, would I? I mean, like I said way earlier, like most of the characters, we already like the better characters. They discussed them at the beginning, and just leave them there at that point. Like,
Didn't have a Cash App? And the last...
there's just so many issues with that second season where like some of these characters that show up, it's just like, like. That's what people didn't even, a lot of people didn't even bother to watch the second season. They're like, once L's gone, I dipped. And
thing that we're going to rate tonight, the entirety of season 2.
B. I didn't think it was bad at all, but I mean, it's not as good as the first one, obviously. I don't think anyone would disagree with that.
D.
D?
I thought the way the show ended was just so sad and pathetic. Death Note could have and should have gone down as the best anime in the history of the world.
I'd put it in B or C. as Emmy just said. I think it started off good because they were going in a different direction. Season 2, like I like how Mello was more. He was willing to do anything that Elle wouldn't do previously, and it made it interesting in some parts. But then once I forget the reporter, like towards I guess. I don't know. The middle part of the second season
was just
the middle part of the second season is where it just got like, and they introduced so many characters and like we don't even care, or like just wrap the show up and then you get the end.
Such perfection that if the second even came close, it would have been the best anime of all time, not even comparable.
Well, how would you have wanted it to end then?
I think the way Light died was great. The ending I thought was so beautiful. I thought the way he was running on the fence and you saw the old Light compared to the new Light as he's running towards his death. I love the way that Ryuk just killed him off and he was dead, which was also a part of the Bible. I thought the way that Matsuda, when he shot him, because Matsuda is always the emotional guy, he shot him. I thought that was great. The problem with this whole plot, it just felt so forced. I couldn't feel for it besides just feeling that Kira finally died.
Yeah, it felt like at the end of season 1 is like where the real story ends, and then season 2 just being like, well, this is what happened after.
Why the hell did the cops agree that Light can turn off the cameras inside?
So I don't know if like I said, this series came out a long time ago in manga, like 2004 or 5. So I don't understand. I don't mind if they give me some more after that L's initial story, but like it's just so hard to, I guess, keep the reader's attention. Because of who they're going, the demographic for the show, more or less, with the series, all that. It is what it is. I still like Death Note. I still put it as a top anime.
Side of the hotel. How did he convince them? It just...
Yeah, the first time made sense when he was like on the phone with Kira, like the tarot Kira. He's like, Kira says he doesn't want this to be recorded. Like, that makes sense. But then after that, it's like, why would they listen to him?
Nier conveniently says, let's drop millions of dollars from this building that they conveniently just had lying around.
It's a little silly. I feel like they could have done season 2 without these two people. Like, I get that.
I agree.
They introduced Teru because it was supposed to be like Higuchi.
You know what they should have done? They should have done movies, I guess, just to like wrap it up and make the movies like 3-part movie and just wrap up the story if you want to do some more.
Where there's like Light's hiding behind another Kira, but this was only interesting because Light didn't even remember. I just wish that they did it without these two.
When Nier said at the last episode, they had their guy write meticulously everything that he wrote in the Death Note in one day to perfectly match his handwriting. I thought that was so dumb as a plot. Why did he have to say that?
He didn't have to say that.
What is he,
Also,
ChatGPT?
in season 1, there were so many times that Light just straight up got lucky, like Naomi. But it was like, okay, like, he got lucky, that's crazy. But then in season 2, it's just like he always gets lucky and gets away with everything. It's just like...
I think the ending was perfection. I think that's exactly how it should have gone down. Light ascends into madness. He shoots Light. Light runs off, bleeds to death, and dies. I thought that was amazing.
I liked how they showed him like being very human and pathetic, like writhing around in the puddle and shit.
And then I loved the ending with Misa, how she was went on the building and killed herself because, well, it felt so right because at the end that's how much she loved Light. She was willing to die for him, and she really meant it. Mello, I think, had potential to be an S.
Yeah, they never showed it. Well, they just showed the silhouette or her being up in the high building. Yeah, it's speculated that she pretty much killed herself.
Tier character, but they just didn't utilize him at all. And these two characters ruined it.
Yeah, Nier was cool, but he wasn't like human enough. Like, I liked L because he was a very smart guy, but he also acted human. Like, he had his quirks. I mean, I guess Nier did too, but they were literally just copies of L. But I wish that they did more with Mello.
Season 2 took so much away from the beauty that was Death Note. I would say season 2 is D.
I think it's B, and the reason I think it's B is because if season 1 never happened and Death Note was only season 2, I think it would still be a decent show, just not like the best show ever. I think just it seems D compared to season 1.
But that's like having your dessert first and then having to eat Brussels sprouts. It makes the Brussels sprouts taste so much worse because you just enjoyed ice cream. That's why I think it's D. I agree with you, but I think it's worse because how great L was and how amazing that series was. To put this after it makes it just tank.
Yeah. It also, like, the dramatics of stuff, like, ramped up so much. Like, the most dramatic thing in season 1 was probably, like, the whole Higuchi thing where he was, like, you know, driving away and all that shit. In season 2, like, when Light's father was going to get the Death Note to get his daughter back, they literally hijacked an entire plane and landed it in, like, the fucking Nevada desert or some shit. Like, I don't know, it just got really crazy.
Kiyomi just happened to have papers of her Death Note stuffed in her bra that she took out and wrote down in the Death Note.
That was something else. That's why Mello got robbed. Like, Mello was smart enough to be like, okay, can you remove all your clothes so I can make sure I don't have anything on you? But he lets her turn around in her bra, which, I'm sorry, but that's the most obvious place a woman would hide something they want anyone to find is in their bra.
Yep.
Well, let's put it in C then.
Yeah,
I still think it's good. It's just not as good as it could have been.
Oops.
How about that? It's
Yeah,
worse
let's
than
put it in
Ray
the middle.
Penber.
We'll agree
Ray
there.
Penber. I would agree. I think this is pretty fair. I mean, I've watched Death Note 3 times, and it is the best thing that I've ever seen in my entire life, besides...
I would just switch where Nier and Mello are at with each other.
It's False Known for Imaginary Friends. So,
I think it's good. It's,
we ranked ourselves a little bit too high. We kind of have an ego.
I think this is a pretty fair tier list.
And guys, that's the end of the video. If you guys like the video and this video does well, we would love to do this again. So if you guys like the video, be sure to like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. Also, write in the comments, please argue about what your takes are on Death Note. And if you haven't watched Death Note already, be sure to watch it. It is possibly some of the best shows you'll ever see. And if you do not like anime, like a lot of people don't, this show transcends anime. I'm telling you, watch it and watch it.
So if someone could actually do a really good live action adaptation of it, oh my god, man. He's gotta know how to do it, man. Who was it? The one at gaming series? The Last of Us, man. They did it so good with their little retelling of the game.
It's a great segue if you've never watched anime. Guys, you should recommend what show we talk about next. And then we will watch it and cosplay from it.
And by we watch it, I mean I'll watch it because she's probably already seen it and she'll buy the cosplay stuff on whatever website she uses. Thank you guys for watching. Goodbye.
Bye.
Would an L not say goodbye?
What would he say?
Look at your phone.
I guess we're parting ways soon.
Light Alchemy's the best character of all time.
Hey, hold up. This is that one song from Edge Runners. Oh, man. I'm not going to suggest that one. But this is what I wrote down in my Death Note. If you can even read it. But yeah, to wrap this up, what should we comment? I think they should do Demon Slayer. I was going to say Naruto. Next. And should probably get Dick Tone for this one. If anyone's still watching, there's that same duo that did Death Note. They did another series. It's not like Death Note. It's about two young men that want to be successful manga artists while they're in high school years. For X reason why they want to do it. The point being was that the first 10 episodes, the first season, man, it's as good as Death Note in my opinion. If it's not a cat and mouse, but man, it's a weird one because like how do you make a series about wanting to make other series success, like all that, but yeah.